This is the Con Guy Show. We are your home for news, opinions, and interviews from the world of Comic-Cons and fandoms. Your ultimate insiders for all things con. Everybody, look who's on the show tonight. Look who's on the show. Look who's on the show. Carrie is with us tonight. I can't be more excited. I couldn't be more excited. And Ben and Luke, of course. But
he's never excited for us.
I'm always excited for you guys.
Am I showing up on your guys' end?
That way. Pointing the other people.
It's the break. We're Brady bunching around, but this is our annual breakdown of the panels. Ben will be back in just 1 second. But this is our annual breakdown of the panels of San Diego Comic-Con. We have a lot to go over tonight. But first, Luke, Carrie, whoa, I know how to do it. I'm going to show something. Carrie, we have a little video we'd like to show. Okay, let me make sure. Okay, Luke, how do I do this video? I share screen, and then I Chrome tab. I tab it over, and here we go. Let's see what this is.
The biggest event in pop culture, San Diego Comic-Con, is happening this July. If you can't make it in person, we're bringing the con to you. From July 26th to the 29th, my co-hosts and I will be chatting with the biggest names and breaking down the latest stories from Comic-Con. So skip the lines, grab some snacks, and get ready for Con Daily, powered by The Beat on Electric Now.
Very cool. Carrie, tell us about that.
Yeah, so that's an exciting one. That's with there was an announcement actually or there was an article in the Hollywood Reporter with Electric Now and Comics Beat are pairing up for that for the Con Daily. So I will be a part of that as well.
That's awesome.
And I'm very excited. And there's an awesome team of doing that. Some people I've met, some are going to be new people that I haven't met. And so yay. And then I'll also be at Comic-Con with Fanversation as well. So, and then obviously we'll probably do something, I would think.
Yep. Carrie, you stay so busy. You stay so busy. That's awesome.
Hero pose.
All right. I just want to say hello, Andy. It's good to see you, my friend. We are here. We are happy to be here. And I just want to say, you guys, we are 1 week away. A week and a day, depending on when you watch this. Basically, Comic-Con is next week. San Diego Comic-Con is next week. We have a lot of panels to go over tonight. We'll tell you about our panel, our Sunday panel, because it changes by the day, Ben.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yay.
Hello, Lily.
Hello.
Speaking of Lily sent us some very cool photographs and videos I'm going to be posting after the show tonight on our Instagram. She's down there in San Diego, walking around taking some videos of the wraps on the trolleys, taking pictures of the different posters, the giant posters going up on the sides of the buildings and the parking garages and everything. It just gets you really excited to see all that stuff. Carrie, just real quick, what have you been up to? We haven't seen you in a bit.
Yes, I just got back a little bit ago from Anime Expo and did.
Oh, how was that?
Oh, that was fun. There have been improvements from previous years that they've done it, better line flow, better traffic management, more food options. And so that was fun. And it wasn't atrociously hot, but it was a bit warm. But it's kind of a fun, if anybody who does multiple cons in a row, it's kind of a nice, like, all right, what worked and what can I improve for going to Comic-Con? And luckily there's a couple weeks in between, because there was 1 year where Anime Expo ended on Sunday and Comic-Con started on that Wednesday. And that was exhausting. So you pretty much had 2 days to get ready, unless you're ready.
Kind of like, wasn't there a year when when Comic-Con ended on, Sunday, and then the D23 Expo started like 2 days later, or vice versa, something like that. But like,
maybe. Yeah,
that's insane what you just described. That's insane.
It's a lot, and then you're running around. My biggest recommendation, I mean, I bet you guys have kind of covered your con tips and tricks. Eat a solid breakfast. I know some people don't like to eat first thing in the morning. Eat something. Eat some protein. Eat something healthy. That is starting. I see you shaking your head. You're like, no. It is foundation for your day because you are running around, and drink lots of water. Like, those are big ones that they make a big difference for your overall.
Jim and Luke like that last one, except for the of water part.
I drink a lot of. Yeah.
Well,
Hey,
you start with water, and then you can have other beverages later in the day too. You know, that's
Are
fine.
you telling me it's not 5 o'clock the whole time at Comic-Con?
Oh my gosh.
I
All right, guys,
mean,
listen, we have a lot to go through, so I
that
don't
would
want to.
deviate.
Oh, hello, Classics by Candace. Glad to see you. So we are going to let me go ahead and Carrie has introduced herself, but we have two other guys in here. Starting with Cheeseman. Who are you guys and what's going on?
Who are you?
What's up, everybody? Cheeseman, founding con guy and screenwriter.
That's right. And
Hey everyone, it's me, old buddy Ben. Not a founding con guy.
well, almost.
Almost. I was an early recruit. And sorry about my little blip there earlier. I all of a sudden my computer screen just went black and then I wasn't connected anymore, and I'm like, uh-oh. So don't know why that happened, but
Oh, the con crud starting early.
apparently.
Oh, no.
But yeah, I'm always super excited for San Diego Comic-Con, so I'm excited to talk about all the panels and all this fun, neat stuff that's going on.
All right. Well, speaking of panels, let's just jump right into it. We're going to start with Wednesday. I don't know how much there is to talk about Wednesday, but is there anything to mention about Wednesday? San Diego Comic-Con starts officially July 25th and goes through the 28th. But if you have a 4-day badge, you can go to preview night on Wednesday. Are there any programmatic things happening on Wednesday, guys?
Programmatic.
Well, I don't know specifically yet, but I would say they often do a lot of previews of events that if you're press, you get to go.
Yep.
But sometimes they open it up after the press preview for people. So if you kind of just wander around, it's a good way to get a sense of where things are and how quickly you can get from one spot to another.
Mm-hmm. And let me just ask you guys a question right up front, because we're going to jump right into Thursday here. Looking at the schedule, have you
for Wednesday?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Wednesday, please.
Well, I was just going to say there's a few neat things that caught my eye. I was just impressed that it's starting at 3:30 on Wednesday afternoon. Like, it's just creeping up. Like, in 5 years, San Diego Comic-Con is going to start Monday evening, you know.
Oh, no.
But I think this is running through the whole show, but starting 4:30 p.m. on Wednesday, they're doing free miniatures, paint, and take. Sorry, that's my cell phone. And all right, they're doing free miniatures, paint, and take, and a ticket giveaway. And I'm not a miniature painting guy, but I know a lot of people who love painting miniatures. So they're doing a free paint a miniature and take it with you type of thing. Also, during the entirety of the con, they're going to be doing the Artemis Spaceship Bridge Simulator. It's an open play. It's like a co-op like computer game that you're on the bridge of the Artemis, and it takes 6 people, and one's the navigator and one's the weapons and one's, you know. And also the other thing that kind of caught my eye was Wednesday night they're doing movie screenings, and they're going to start at 6 p.m. with The Burbs, which is just if you've ever seen The Burbs, it's fantastic. It's a Tom Hanks movie. It's like a horror. It's like a comedy horror slasher almost.
Come on, you have to have a Tom Hanks impression for that, right?
Right. What? I don't know. Actually, I don't really have a Tom Hanks impression. I need to come up with one. And then after that, they're going to be screening Barbie and Oppenheimer in a row. So,
and that's where it's in the Marriott Marquis Grand 5.
Yes.
Yep.
And yeah, so those are kind of the things that caught my eye for Wednesday. But I digress. Jim,
there's something cool that hello all, Andy. Okay, we're getting some comments here. Jeff Gilman, good to see you, my friend.
The general.
I have a press pass and I want to know how to get into Hall H without waiting in line for 20 hours on Saturday. It's impossible. Press pass. If you have a press pass, it used to be they would have like the bullpen up at the front of Hall H. They stopped doing that, I think, like 2 years ago. If you do have a press pass, go to the press line during Hall H, and they do let some registered press go in, but you're not guaranteed a spot. Luke and I have found that out many times going over to the press room. The press line trying to get into Hall H. We don't get in. If you don't get in, you can run right across the grass over to the bayfront and get yourselves a Long Island iced tea by the pool and just sit down and enjoy yourself. But we did that one year it was when Star Wars was there, the big Star Wars presentation. They'd just come back and we didn't get in. So we went over to the pool there. We sat down and had 2 Long Island's iced tea. No, one and a half. We said, okay, we're kind of done. I get the phone call from the publicist. Hey, we got a spot for you. We're like, oh my gosh. And we took off running as fast as we could. And those Long Island iced teas caught up with me real quick. Anyways, let's jump in. Andy has a good point here. The Olympics is happening at the same time as Comic-Con this year. And Peacock has an offsite this year. During the opening ceremonies of the Olympics, they will have a large screen, a big giant LED screen showing the opening ceremonies during Comic-Con. So go check that out. That's going to be cool. All right. My question was, overall, did you notice anything unusual, anything that stood out, or anything cool, anything not so cool about the overall feeling of the panels this year? I did.
What'd you notice?
What'd you notice, Jim?
There is no Hall H on Sunday. Dun, 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 which is a big deal. It's a big deal. They usually
that because I was trying to quickly look at everything before the show because I had a crazy day.
Oh, no worries. But there's also no Ballroom 20 on Sunday. So Sunday is kind of a condensed day. There's much, how do you say that? Far fewer. There's much fewer. There's far
because
fewer.
The main attraction will be your panel, right? On Sunday.
Yeah, Jim canceled Hall H.
Yeah.
He called him up and he said, listen, guys.
They didn't want the competition.
All right. Let's jump into Thursday. We got some. I do have to say this. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday is jam-packed there at San Diego Comic-Con. I mean, really jam-packed. So I'm excited to see it. And Ben, to your point, San Diego Comic-Con programming goes like to midnight almost every night. It's going to be eventually around the clock. They'll start selling nighttime tickets. Well, that's what they could do. Nighttime at San Diego Comic-Con. All right.
Before we go to Thursday, can I say something? I know, like, if you're like me and you like collecting things or seeing the floor, I mean, as always, Wednesday is a great time to kind of do that. Do we know what time the exhibit floor is opening?
We do.
Okay.
We do. We do,
but we're not telling.
Tell people you should go to the panels, but when's the floor opening?
I had it open just a second ago, and I am so sorry. Let me find it. I will find it for you real quick.
Go back to it.
All right, we'll go back to it. But let's go ahead and start on Thursday. Luke Cheeseman or Ben or Carrie, whoever wants to start. What are some panels that are standing out to you? Must-see panels on Thursday.
I was trying to see the day on this. I don't have it because I have the press email. But I'm like, I don't see the date on it. But Silo's having a panel, which I'm like, oh, yeah.
That's cool.
I cannot confirm what day it is. This will be on Saturday. I'm getting ahead of myself. But there will be a panel Saturday. I don't have the time here, but I was excited for that. Thursday, though, not a panel, but a activity, though. Can we do activities? Did you already
Go ahead.
Did you already talk about the chariot race?
We have talked about nothing.
Oh, okay. So on Thursday, this is Thursday through Sunday. Those About to Die, the chariot race. So immerse yourself in the glory of ancient Rome at San Diego Comic-Con with Peacock's Those About to Die chariot race. So there's a betting tavern. There you get to pick a faction, and you need to go online to Peacock, thechariot.race.com and reserve a ticket. There's no price for it, but they will have a standby line. And that sounds really fun. So that's every day from about 10 or noonish till 6:30.
Cool.
And that's just immersive.
Shameless plug. Next week is our annual offsites and parties podcast. And we're going to make sure we talk about that a little bit more in detail. That's
getting ahead. Okay, but here's a panel one. There we go. First look at Peacock's horror thriller series Teacup. And I was like, ooh, I'm always excited when it's a new horror show because we also do Scare Guy around here. So it's a new series, and that one's going to be at 1:45 Ballroom 20 on Thursday.
I'm excited about that one. That one was really cool.
Yeah.
And to answer Luke's question, the hours: Wednesday 6 until 9, Thursday 9:30 till 7. This is just the floor. 9:30 till 7. Friday 9:30 till 7. Saturday, 9:30 till 7, and Sunday, 9:30 until 5 o'clock. Dun, dun, dun. Those are the hours of the floor. All right. Let me go over a couple that I see on Thursday. And these are, let me just go ahead and knock the big ones out of the way. Hall H on Thursday at 2:15, Percy Jackson and the Olympians. We did a podcast here. Danae and Derek and some folks did a podcast, and Katie, and really did a breakdown of every episode of Percy Jackson and the Olympians. It's cool that it's going to be here in Hall H. Is going to be awesome. 3:30 Hall H. This one's close to your hearts, to my heart. What We Do in the Shadows, the farewell tour, the final, their final trip to Comic-Con. Do you guys watch that show?
I love that show.
Oh man, it's going to be great.
Haven't gotten into it yet, but it's on my list.
Yeah,
it's fantastic.
I can say one more thing that was kind of weird. We as press, we were invited to have an interview with the cast of Cobra Kai, who do not have a panel at all at Comic-Con, which is that they're going to be signing autographs at the Sony booth on the floor, because this is Sony's first time back in a long time. So it's kind of exciting. Anyways, I just want to throw that out there. It's not officially a panel, but if you want to see Cobra Kai, go see the Sony booth. All right. Two more. Ballroom 20. I just want to make sure we hit these big ones. At 12:30, Todd McFarlane is going to be talking all things, McFarlane, including, I did not know there was a new Spawn movie in the works coming out. So Todd McFarlane is going to be talking about the new Spawn movie coming out. And then here's one I really think is going to get a lot of attention. A lot of people that you just look at the name and you don't realize, oh, that doesn't look. But when you start reading the description, you see who's going to be in there. At 10 o'clock in the morning in room 10, Ronda Rousey, the famous wrestler. She's been all over the place. She's going to be debuting her, or talking about her new graphic novel coming out, and her partner in the room interviewing her, Dave Bautista. That's going to be great. That's going to be fun. I can't wait. And my personal favorite, of course, the history of Peanuts. I got to make sure I say that so everybody can hear it. Peanuts. The history of Peanuts and animation, room 25AB at 10. Ben, do you have any?
I had a couple that kind of popped out to me. One of them was, oh no, I just clicked away from it. Hold on. They had Film School 101, cool. San Diego Comic-Con Film School 101. Sorry. Here we go. Hey. And programs. There we go. All right.
I was gonna say, while you're looking, I found a couple others for Thursday.
Oh, Carrie, yeah, go ahead.
There is the 5th annual Hollywood Game Changers conversation with the women behind popular film and TV projects. Mm-hmm. So these are creatives from Fairly Odd Parents, A Newish, Wanla. I'm trying to see if I read that right. Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and more. And this will be on Thursday at 11 a.m. in room 7AB. Cool. So that's always fun to hear when people are behind the scenes stuff. I like that. Oh, there we go. So it's going to be producer, voiceover actors, directors, writers, composer, and more. So that one's cool. And then another one, speaking of behind the scenes, we have fan favorites behind the scenes of popular film and TV shows. Also Thursday at 1 p.m. room 7AB. And this one will have creatives from One Piece. I'm assuming the live action one, which is really cool. If you haven't watched it yet,
I haven't seen it yet. Yeah,
so good. You don't need to know anything about the show. You'll have a great time.
Cool.
Gen V, Shogun, Only Murders in the Building, and more. So this is creatives behind the projects, and learn how they bring their fan favorite stories to life.
What time is that one?
That one's at 1 p.m. on Thursday.
That's cool. Yeah, that one looks really cool. I saw that one as well. If you didn't, and someone didn't mention that, I'd mention that one. I just recently have gotten into Only Murders in the Building. That's really a good show.
It's a fun one.
So yeah. Ben.
Well, I like to look for the things at conventions, like the panels and things like that are a little offbeat.
Yeah.
They're a little different than, I suppose there's ways I could look up some of the stuff on YouTube and see people talking about it. But if I'm actually going to be there and I could show up in person to see people talk about this weird thing I don't really know much about,
Right.
I would love to do that. So some of the things that jumped out to me right off the top in the morning on Thursday, we've got 82 years of superhero cereal boxes. I don't know what
I saw that.
Awesome. I love that.
It's nuts.
And the description just the first line just cracks me up. 3 cerealologists
Oh my gosh.
will take you on a sugary cereal box tour, starting with the first 1942 Superman box and leading to the coolest superhero box ever made from 2022. And so that is actually going to be where's the thing for that? Oh yeah, so that's going to be in Grand 10 and 11 in the Marriott Marquis on Thursday at 10 a.m. I was going to mention Ronda Rousey's comic debut as well. There's also Bringing Films to Life, Building Professional and Fan-Made Props. That is, engineers, prop makers. They are going to demonstrate the process of building fan-made props and armor and droids, and they're actually going to have examples of like fan-made builds and that sort of thing.
And can I just interject that a lot of us here, and you can probably see, we're a bunch of filmmakers here coming at you. So our perspective, you can see us being drawn to a lot of these creating film props and behind the scenes of TV shows and stuff. So you'll probably see a lot of that from this group tonight.
Well, and I also think that it's, a lot of people would be like, hey, that'd be pretty cool if I could build my own whatever at home, my own lightsaber or my own droid or whatever. But that is going to be in Grand 12 and 13 at the Marriott Marquis, also at 10 a.m. on Thursday. I was also going to mention the history of Peanuts in animation. And Peanuts and Comic-Con Film School 101, pre-production and screenwriting. Now they're going to be doing a series of these over the course of the week, or the half week or whatever. But yeah, Comic-Con Film School, they do, like I said, like a 4-day class on like the nuts and bolts of movie making from start to finish.
This will replace your 4-year $250,000 degree from USC, right?
Exactly, 100%. You will leave this realizing how much time and money you've wasted. No, I'm kidding. But that is going to be in Grand 6 at the Marriott Marquis, also at 10 a.m. And that's about as far as I got.
Cheeseman, do you have any? I do have a couple more I'm going to go over, but right before we jump into Friday.
Yeah, there's a few things that
I see one that you're going to be really into, Cheeseman.
Do you know?
At 4:15, my friend.
Did I write that one down? I might have missed it.
4:15, room 6.
Tell me about it. Oh, is this? Oh, yeah. The 85 years of Batman, a look back at with professionals.
Yep.
So that looks pretty cool.
It's not only it has Mark Waid, who is famous for writing Batman, but Michael Uslan. He's the producer of the original Batman movie, 1989.
The Dark Knight trilogy.
Yes.
There's also all these producers and all that. Oh, that's really cool. Yeah, we got to do that. Greg would.
This
love
one
that
looks
too.
awesome. That looks awesome.
Oh dang, yeah, that looks really cool. And again, like we've said, like we're all gonna have different tastes and things that we're looking for. There's so many panels and things here. Make sure to go on because there might be something like crazy that you might like nerd out about. Like one of the ones I saw here that, we do a lot of kind of podcasts where we talk about collectibles. There's a Grown Up Collectibles, the Revolutionary World of the High-End Toys on Thursday.
Nice.
At 2 to 3 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
So that one looks really cool. And they're going to have all sorts of, there could even be giveaways there. But I tend to buy a lot of like NECA and all these other things. So who's there? Not sure if they'll do all the McFarlane and NECA type talk stuff, but usually I collect those.
Can I stop you for just a second? Tomas Castillo, if you're still, I apologize. I know you. You are the one who co-hosts the WonderCon group with me on Facebook. So we were talking. I'm glad you're going to be down there. Let's see if we can meet up while we're down there. Sorry, I just had to say that he got a press pass to go this year. And sorry. I just popped in my head, and you know how if I don't talk about it right, then it's gone.
Well, while you're saying that, I noticed it looks like this is actually at the Omni San Diego hotel, the collectible thing. So some of these are in other spots as
Which
well.
is cool. I don't think they've used the Omni very much in the past
Mhm.
for programming. Is that I don't think I've ever attended an
Yeah, so
Omni
this
based.
4th floor, that might be kind of cool. You
Yeah.
get a little Long Island along the way, you know. I mean, hey.
We'll see how many Long Islands we can take.
Oh my gosh, we're gonna die
Yikes.
the first day. Some other ones that stuck out, you know, as a creative person, how to get news coverage at 10:30. That's at room 10. There's one on documentary filmmaking, which sounds kind of cool because I've always thought about, you know, maybe getting involved in something like that. That one's
The number one way to get news coverage: have somebody on your show who claims to be a knight of Ren, and he gives you a fake ending for the movie. There you go.
just do fake things.
Yeah.
And the documentary thing, that's in the Marriott in the Grand Six.
Yep.
And there's also this writers coffee house that they're doing from 2:30 to 4:30. So it's a free networking and Q&A thing held annually at Comic-Con each year.
And they're gonna the coffee house. It says that they know all about the they'll talk all about changes in the industry of publishing as well, all the various trends and whatnot. So that looks like it's gonna be very cool. Can I talk about another writer one? 1 p.m. This is from our friend April Wallen. 1 p.m. Writers Workshop by C2C. Wallen, April Wallen, C2C. It's an organization she started to help writers. And one of her guests, Chris Gore, who is on the Film Threat podcast and show. Chris Gore says he watches this show. So, Chris, if you're watching, I'm going to ask you, did you watch? We're calling out your name right now. So we're going to see if he really does watch. That's going to be over in the Marriott Marquis, room D, 1 p.m. Tony Kim, our friend Tony Kim, has a very cool panel called The Worst Mistake I Ever Made. It's going to be in the Marriott 12 and 13. It's a panel about mistakes that we made, the worst mistake you ever made, but that turned into something great. I mean, that's easy for me because my life is a series of mistakes that worked themselves out. So that looks like a really good panel. And if for Brad, who is sometimes in the comments with us, I don't know if he's there tonight. One of the panels I know he's excited about, 1:30 p.m. Masters of the Universe, all the celebrity voices. It's going to be in room 29CD. So Masters of the Universe, which kind of got skewered by a lot of fans this past year. And I'm not going to jump into that argument. But if you guys were upset, come back. This is the old one. These are the old voices, I think. So, and then just chill. Anything else? Oh, one more. Sorry,
there's a major one.
3 p.m. The movie. It's called 1984, the greatest geek year ever. Big Brother was watching you.
They ripped us off.
5AB, by the way.
Yeah.
If you are interested in this topic, the Con Guy just did a 2-part episode about a month and a half ago about 1984, all the movies of 1984. So we love this topic. I even pitched Comic-Con about doing this topic for them at the convention, and they said, nope, we got someone else doing it. So that was cool. All right. Anything else?
I got a couple other quick ones. I was like, I was scanning through. I'm like, oh, there is so many. So I'll just do rapid fire. One, speaking of, I was mentioning Comics Beat earlier, they're having a 20th anniversary tour panel started. It's gonna be Thursday at 4:30 in room 24 ABC.
Who is that? What is that?
With Comics Beat. And so that's talking about comics industry and how it has changed in the last 20 years, from the rise of graphic novels to manga to crowdfunding and digital. And what does the future hold?
Can I ask you, Carrie, real quick? I'm sorry to stop. Comic Beat. That's what you're doing. The daily Comic Con is with Comics Beat?
They're paired with Electric now and doing it. Yeah.
It's Comic Beat, The Beat. That's Heidi McDonald, right?
Yes.
Yes, she is. Her publication has kind of been like the newsletter of comic books for the past 20 years. If you guys don't get a chance, check out, you can go to The Beat online. It is comprehensive coverage of the comic book industry. So you'll get it. And Carrie's talking about the 20-year anniversary of The Beat. So that's a very cool one that I do want to check out.
So that, again, Thursday at 4:30, room 24 ABC. speaking of retro, a Rainbow Bright 40 Years of Happiness. Like, that's adorable. Thursday at 12:30, room 29 CD. Man, we're having so many like anniversary things happening, but that's pretty awesome. And speaking of comics and continuing the story of Blade Runner, there's the World of Blade Runner. A new saga begins in Tokyo. That's Thursday at 12:30, room 24 ABC. And also giving a shout out, Tokyo Pop, interviewed with them a lot. They're manga for everyone. That is Thursday at 1 o'clock in room 28DE.
Full disclosure, I interviewed for a managing editor position at Tokyo Pop back in the day when they were over on Wilshire Boulevard in the tower right next to the magazine building I used to work at. And they had some financial difficulties. They almost went away for a bit of time, so it didn't work out. But
now they're back.
They're back in a big way. So I do want to call out Brad. Brad is here, and he's talking about the He-Man Masters of the Universe voices. It's the original She-Ra from the cartoon, Blade from the 80s He-Man movie. So if you guys are fans of Masters of the Universe, that's a good panel to check out. Ben.
I just was scanning through as well. I found this is right up a couple of my alleys. Jonathan Frakes unveils Arthur C. Clarke's Venus Prime TV series. So
that's cool.
Jonathan Frakes is producing and directing a TV series based off of Arthur C. Clarke and author Paul Pruis's Venus Prime. And who doesn't like Arthur C. Clarke, classic like sci-fi writer, and then Jonathan Frakes, of course, Commander Riker from Star Trek The Next Generation. So that one is going to be Thursday at 4:45 p.m. in room 6BCF. I don't know where D and E went, but just B, C, and F.
All right. I think we've kind of scrunched a lot of stuff out of Thursday.
Yes.
Did we talk about the main thing? They did show the Deadpool and Wolverine Celebration of Life, and there's a link to.
That's not Thursday, though, is it?
But it says something on Thursday for that for some reason.
Wait, where are you looking?
I was looking right on the page there on the list of the Thursday stuff. He'll say.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, Celebration of Life went Thursday, July 25th. Doors open at 5, panel at 6:30. Where? Hall H. And then you can register. Enter
Where
for
are
a
you
chance
looking
to
at
attend.
this? This is on Thursday?
I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna share my screen here.
They have panels going all the way till 9 p.m.
Pull this up because I must have mistaken. I thought it was on Saturday. Pull this up.
Okay, let's see if I can get that.
Okay, let's see. Because this is a big deal. Okay. Thursday, July.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a second. Doors open at 5, panel at 6:30. By the way, you know what this? I just want everybody to know. Originally, they had an end date. I got this on the wrong day. So originally, they had an ending time of this at 9:30. So 6:30 to 9:30. What does that tell you about this celebration of life? Oh, you got to register for it right now?
I already did it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give these people my email. Just kidding. But I did already register, so I'm not going to do it again right now.
You know what this is? This is the screening. They're screening the movie.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And with probably Mr. Deadpool and Mr. Wolverine, we know they're going to be there. They're going to be in. This is awesome. For some reason I thought this was on Saturday. I'm glad you caught that, Luke.
Yep. You're welcome.
Right.
I do something. I did something today.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. So that's
Our
cover
also
image.
talking about the Mummy, right? Like some of us, this is an anniversary year. They're doing a screening of that in room 4. It looks like at 8:30 on Thursday. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
You heard it.
Yeah, so many anniversary things this year.
I know.
And then I would say also just skimming through it for anybody looking through the schedule, there are so many diverse panels too. So if there's any particular group you belong to or want to know more about, there are so many different panels that are different representation, backgrounds and everything, which I'm like, this is awesome. So there's just so many to pick from. And then I like to see that there is so many options for people to check out as well.
And there, you know what? Even I was noticing this is Disability Awareness Month, and they have some panels about creating content for those who no longer can hear or can't see, and different kind of. They have panels for they called it geeks who are find the geeks who are neurodivergent, and like they have all like just like you said, Carrie. It's kind of cool. They're zeroing in on everybody doesn't receive their information the same way, their media the same way. I love that they're doing that. All right, we do have to jump into Friday. Let's start. If you want to go first, because Friday Hall H is an explosion of content. It is so much stuff on Friday. I do want to let everybody know if you plan to get in first thing Friday, you must get your wristband Thursday night. The wristband to Hall H. If you want to get into Hall H on Friday, make sure you go get your wristband. Katie has a video up on our Instagram about how to get that wristband. All right, let's go. Who wants to go first?
Not the craziness of Hall H, but another big title, Snowpiercer. There's an exclusive advanced screening, and have other people already up to season 4. If you're not up to date with that show, it will debut on Sunday, but nice way to see it with the stars, and they'll have Q&A and talk about the final season.
And you can go ride the trolley that's wrapped in Snowpiercer.
That's Ballroom 20 on Friday at 11:15 a.m.
And I think this is the final season of Snowpiercer.
I think so too.
It's been bumping around. It was TBS, it was TNT, TBS, and now this year is it Prime?
AMC.
AMC. Okay, it's on AMC. So it's been all over the place.
Jim's going to be crying, screaming, weeping, and jumping in the air like a little boy at 11 a.m. I know that.
Let me see. 11 a.m. 11 a.m. Is it in room 28 DE?
Yep.
70 years of Godzilla. This is the 70th anniversary. This is a big year for Godzilla. I bet you there's going to be a lot of Godzilla on the convention floor, but this is a good one. There's a lot of kaiju different panels. There's Ultraman panels. There's a lot of that stuff going on. There's a new Ultraman movie that they're going to be previewing. So this is a good year for kaiju, especially Godzilla. Thank you, Luke Cheeseman. Can I just jump, since we're talking kaiju, 2 p.m. Kaiju Kingdom podcast is doing Year of Godzilla and King Kong. And this one is at the library. And Ben, didn't you do a panel at the library before?
I did.
How hard is it to get to the library?
It's a bit of a walk, but it's really not. With all the walking that you're going to be doing, especially, depending on where you're staying in San Diego, it's not that bad. It's probably 5 or 6 blocks away from the convention center. It's not bad. It's a really nice library, a really nice facility. And
it's a space age looking library on the outside, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's crazy looking, but it was really nice because it was pretty quiet in there. It was a library, so but it was a good place to do a panel. It was really nice, very comfortable. I just showed up covered in sweat when I went to mine, but yeah, no, it was good though.
Yeah, there's another one I'm trying to see at the library that I'm an old Lost fan, and there's this Lost podcast that they've had it every year. They're going to have it at the library this year. I'm trying to debate whether or not I'm going to run across town to see it, but we'll see. Let me just throw this comment from Andy in there. There's also the Star Wars reading panel that they do each year where they talk about the new books and comics coming out. And Andy, I agree. Good luck with Hall H. He says the only time he was in Hall H was at Comic-Con 2018 with the Kevin Smith panel. I just walked right in easily. Hopefully that's not the Kevin Smith panel where everybody got up and walked out Star Wars.
Well, continuing on Kaiju and Godzilla at 2 p.m. on Friday, there is the Kaiju Kingdom podcast, the Year of Godzilla and Kong.
So excited about that, Carrie.
Also, speaking of then classic in a way, there's MeTV Tunes, the new destination for your favorite classic cartoons. That's Friday at 1 p.m. room 6A. So it's a classic television network has launched a sister network, MeTV has launched MeTV Tunes, all cartoon channel with more than 400 different classic animation series, which is pretty cool.
How many times can you say Me TV over and over?
I know, right?
That's a hard one to
And then
say.
another one that I was like, oh, speaking of classics, we have Street Sharks, 30 years of Jossum.
Believe that. Oh my
Uh,
God.
That's Friday at 1:00, and that will be at the library, which I'm like, that's awesome. I remember
And-
that show.
And Luke, they have a bunch of exclusives that we showed on our exclusive show coming out along with the Street Sharks this year as well.
What's weird is I never really watched that for some reason, which is weird because I love sharks and all that, but I don't know why I didn't really seem to watch it that much.
I
Well,
was gonna say I'm attached to my computer, but I'll have to show you. I have a picture of. I still have a toy, kid's
Nice.
toy from
I-
that.
Yeah, I had the toys, but I never watched the show. But I think the toys came out first, and then they launched the show. But
I
you-
think mine
That's
might have been
almost-
like a fast food toy, one of it too that you got. The other one around that same time was Biker Mice from Mars, which is also a fun,
Mhm.
obscure one, and Pizza Cats.
What was it? What channel was it on?
Probably like WB Kids had a bunch of stuff. I think they had an
Okay.
early morning
That,
Saturday
that
block.
could have
those
been
classics.
if it wasn't, like antenna TV, or I didn't
It was
really
like
have.
Channel
cable as a
5 or
kid, so.
something. Good question.
Yeah.
Toys from the 80s and 90s always had their own accompanying TV show.
Yeah. Big Hall H1. We got Doctor Who into the
Yep.
Who-niverse, a Doctor
Yeah.
Who panel, 12:30 Hall H.
Did it say who's going to be in that panel?
The 15th Doctor, Ruby, and showrunner, writer Russell T Davies.
The reason I'm
Discuss
saying
the
is because
latest
Luke
season.
and I have some inside knowledge. We know that Mr. David Tennant is in town, so he flew in from England, so I don't know if he's going to be showing up there.
He's not listed in the description,
Nope.
but that
But
doesn't
he was
mean
he was in this season.
Yeah.
Or was it the end of last season?
he's
How do you-
in the bridge episodes. They were like the holiday episodes, yeah.
Right.
But they always have surprise guests that can
Yep.
happen,
That'd be cool. All right. What else do you guys does anyone want to just take? I'll do this. Let me just throw these out here and tell me what you think. Hall H, 10 o'clock in the morning, which you got to camp out. You got to get your rich first thing in the morning. The Boys on Prime, which is an intensely cool show, but it will be finished by the time this happens. So it's kind of cool that Amazon Prime is bringing The Boys just kind of like a victory lap to celebrate. I think that's cool. But following that is another Amazon Prime show, and this is perhaps the most expensive show ever created. Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power is bringing the full cast down. That's going to be awesome. And then the afternoon, so many at 1:45 in Hall H, Walking Dead, Dead City Season 2. That's with Lauren Negan and Maggie. And then 2:45, The Walking Dead, the Daryl Dixon show, but this is Daryl Dixon, The Book of Carol. So that's very cool. Carol and Daryl back together, and it's going to finish off Hall H at 5:15 with Alien Romulus. Yeah, and Brad says The Boys will be a huge panel with announcements, I think he's right. Fingers are crossed. We think that I saw the cast list, and for the Boys panel, they did not list Jared Padalecki or Jensen Ackles, the supernatural duo, but they're both in for next season. And they love Comic-Con. And so we think that they might be making a surprise appearance both there and at a certain Thursday night party that we're going to. So
And it's not going to be on a Sunday in Hall H because isn't that when Supernatural always was?
yeah, but there's no Hall H at all. I think they're just the convention had a rough year for a few years, and they're saving some money by no Hall H and no Ballroom 20 on Sunday. All right, so that's all Hall H. What do you guys think? Do you think it's worth camping out all night for that?
I have never camped out for a Hall H, so I can't say. But I think if you're excited, I think you're doing it for the experience of doing it in a way too. So if you're excited about what's there and you want to do that experience, I'd say go for it.
Very cool.
Yeah, one night of bad sleep can't be horrible. And there's ways to sleep comfortably. Like what they should do, they should make like little camp shirts for each year. That would be a marketing thing if you did.
I camped out. Yeah.
Like almost like Crystal Lake, but make like a, Comic-Con camp shirt or something.
To their credit, though, the organizers of Comic-Con have tried to make it so you don't have to camp out. So that's what getting the bracelets are all about. As long as you get the bracelets by, I think it's like 11, they start passing them out sometime between 10 and midnight. And then, guys, look at Ben. He's gone blurry. Oh, there he's back. He's back. He's fading out. It's like the show.
Did you create invisibility? That's a good way to get into Hall H.
All right.
It's
So
what it's what I've been working my entire life on.
Let's look at some other ones. We have the Orville fan panel. That's Friday at 3:00 at the library, which I'm like, oh, fun. But we don't have an official one yet, but hopefully there'll be more of that one. I love that show.
That's cool.
Another one, this looks cool. Dark Horse manga discussing Lovecraft with Gyo Tanabe. So this is I'm thinking it's an art. They're discussing the process of adapting H.P. Lovecraft stories to a manga format. Fans will get a look at the current upcoming editions of Tanabe Sensei's manga at Dark Horse and more. So if you like Lovecraft and combine with manga, I'm like, that sounds pretty cool.
That does sound cool. Very cool.
I'd be curious to see like what kind of visuals they go with that.
Ben, I've seen that you've been kind of
I've been scouring.
Yes.
I know. It's like,
what you got for us?
Like trying to get ahead.
There's so much stuff. Like it's just like you look at one little like hour block and then there's like 20 things in like 1 hour.
I'm getting exhausted just looking at all this. One thing I did notice that I wanted to bring up at midnight, Friday night, 11:59 Friday night, they're doing a screening of The Toxic Avenger.
oh, fun.
Another 40th anniversary film.
Is that from Troma?
Yeah, that's the first one. Yeah.
Because later on in this weekend is the 50th anniversary panel for Troma.
Oh, yeah.
That's cool. That's awesome. Toxic Avenger, one of the most disgusting movies ever made, but it's got this cult following. People love that movie.
Oh, yeah.
Luke, did you see any from Friday?
Yeah, a couple things that popped out. There's a Gremlins The Wild Batch at 2:15 to 3:15, room 6A. So it's looking like it's an animated prequel series. I think it sounds like it's after it sounds like this already came out, right? They did a first season of the Gremlins cartoon prequel, so it looks like they're continuing that and bringing a bunch of the people in from that. So it looks interesting. I do need to check out that show. Something interesting they have at 1:00 to 2:00 is a Hollywood location scouts panel in room 9, which is interesting because you don't always. I love going to see like movie locations and kind of retaking my picture and stuff, but it'd be interesting to hear about how people go about kind of finding these spots and different things, especially as filmmakers. Like what kind of mindset should you have when you're kind of looking at stuff, because sometimes I'll see like good lighting or I'll see different things, but I haven't really thought about if I was going to shoot something, like how do you go about, finding those places. So that might be a cool panel to check out. There's also another filmmaking one, Pro Writers AMA, Ask Me Anything, that's what it stands for, SmackDown. And that's from 4:30 to 5:30. So a bunch of pro writers will come in there and answer any kind of questions you have, like agents, marketing, all sorts of different things.
Where's that located?
That's in room 29CD.
I went to that last year. That's a good panel. It's very
like
good.
People from, like Neil Edmond from Power Rangers and John Carpenter's Halloween Nights.
Mm-hmm.
Halloween Nights? Oh, the end kind of plays over, I see. And Sandy King Carpenter, is that John Carpenter's wife?
John Carpenter's wife, yes.
Okay, yeah, she'll be there. And looks like, some other, looks like mostly kind of comics and stuff like that. But yeah, that's pretty cool. And then I don't think we mentioned that the Alien Romulus is going to be in Hall H. Did we say that one?
Yeah, we mentioned that. But like for those who don't know, this is a brand new movie come out from 20th Century, and it looks to be super cool. And we can't give out who, but a friend of ours is going to be roaming the streets of, I guess they're either having an offsite or roaming the streets with a face hugger. the alien that jumps on your face. So we're going to see a lot of promotion for this movie throughout the gas lamp this week.
And I will say this, that sometimes, like they put these big panels in the morning, like there's the Walking Dead one, the Dead City 2, I think is on Friday. And then sort of like The Boys. Sometimes when these big ones are over, there's a little more space. Like some people go kind of explore things kind of after that. So there's a chance sometimes, mid through the day that some of the lines might be more manageable for Hall H. So if
I think that you're right.
Maybe by then you could possibly get in and see that panel. So there's a good chance you could probably get in for that.
Yeah, I think that the people that are waiting overnight are going to get their bracelets to get to Hall H. It's going to be packed for The Boys. It'll be packed for Lord of the Rings, I think. But then The Walking Dead and The Walking Dead with Daryl and Carol will probably be pretty full. But I think a lot of those people will drift out before the Alien Romulus panel starts, just because it's just like who's in them. It's kind of like not a big known cast, but anyways.
Yeah, because even with like the Halloween movie, like the newer one, we got in line like midday, like after some of the bigger panels, even though the new Halloween was like a very exciting thing. We're able to actually get in just by waiting in line. And then
go ahead.
One more I'll mention just real quick is Pinching for Film and Television. This is another one that's kind of at the Marriott Marquis there in the Grand Six. So it's always, good to see these smaller ones kind of spreading out if you want that in-person advice from creative type people. So there's people from, looks like Supergirl, Handmaid's Tale, Arrow, Grimm, Blood and Treasure, Charlie's Angels, all sorts of people to help you kind of, break apart your ideas.
Charlie's Angels.
That's what it's. Matthew Fetterman, Blood and Treasure, Limitless, Charlie's Angels, maybe the newer ones, I think.
Is there a new TV show, Charlie's Angels, that I'm unaware of?
They had a new movie a little bit ago.
Yeah, he did the Limitless movie. Wasn't that from the go-to? I mean,
I remember like the Drew Barrymore Charlie's Angels. I don't.
Well, they had one after that, and it's Kirsten Stewart was in it.
Oh, right.
That's right.
It's probably that
It was
one.
fun. It was a fun Charlie's Angels movie. Cool. I found a couple real quick here. We're on Saturday, right?
Not yet. We're almost there.
Okay, I was getting ready.
You'll go first for Saturday, but Ben, do you have any on Friday that you want to go over before we jump?
I scrolled for what seemed to be eons, and I got
you already went
2 hours of the schedule.
Okay, cool. Can I please say 5:30? 4 o'clock. Bob's Burgers, one of my favorite shows on TV. It's in the Indigo Ballroom. So Friday is usually the day that you see a bunch of adult animation in the Indigo Ballroom. I do want to call out Bob's Burgers. It's going to start with a Rick and Morty, but it's not the normal Rick and Morty. It's Rick and Morty being transferred over to anime. So it's a new style of Rick and Morty. Anime starts out the morning there in the Indigo Ballroom if you guys want to go check that out. And I think there's some more, but and that night, the 36th annual Eisners will be in the Indigo Ballroom at 8 p.m. So the Eisners, kind of like the Oscars of the comics. And then the Ultraman movie I told you about is having a 9:15 screening. And for fans of House of the Dragon, there's a special advanced screening of episode 7 from season 2 that night in room 6A. All right, let's jump into Saturday. Saturday. Who would like to go? Carrie. She was shooting out of the cannon. Let's do it.
I was like Ben. I was like, let me skip ahead. And I'm like, oh wait, is that part? Okay. We got Ghost starting the morning off on Saturday at 10 a.m. Cool. That is a delightful show. If you have not checked it out, very just amusing and feel good, and very funny. Yeah. Ballroom 20 on Saturday at 10 a.m. We got 20 years of Scott Pilgrim with Brian Lee O'Malley.
20 years. Wow.
I know, right? That one's at 11 a.m. at room 7AB.
Is that a comic book or the movie? The movie's not 20 years old, surely. Did it come out?
Graphic novel series.
It's the graphic novels, yeah.
Yeah. So this is more on the novel series, but also talking about because there was so in honor of the series' 20th anniversary, Oni Press proudly presents a one-on-one conversation with the creator, Brian Lee O'Malley, for a career-spanning retrospective about the origins of this iconic story, reflections on its legacy in comics and beyond, and more.
Cool. So
If you're a Scott Pilgrim fan, that's room 7AB at 11 a.m. on Saturday. This one's pretty neat. I've give a shout out for Katie of doing fashion things. We have the official Disney Bound panel, tips and tricks from your favorites in the fandom. That's at 11 a.m. at Grand 1011 Marriott Marquis. So Disney bounding is super fun and can be easy if you don't you can do it. It is achievable. So it's like wearing casual clothing in a way, but representing your favorite characters. And it's a fun thing that if you want to get started, this would be probably a cool one for you to check out. And
I do have to call out though, speaking of wearing cool clothes, if you guys get a chance, check out Carrie's Instagram. You've been posting or TikTok. Your TikToks are pretty fun. The way you do the cool fun ways into some cool clothes. I think.
Oh, thank you. Yes, I like my transition videos. They're fun to make.
Yes.
I'm going rapid fire here, so I was like, wait, there's a few other fun ones. We got Abbott Elementary, which I took a while to get into that one just because it was one of those I was like, sure. And it's also very fun. That one's Indigo Ballroom at the Hilton Bayfront Saturday at 12:30.
I love that show.
Yeah, so fun.
And it has an accompanying offsite. Eva's festival is going to be, I think it's over in the Petco Interactive Zone.
Nice.
So if you guys get a chance, make sure you watch the episode. Is it season 2? Eva's.
Yeah, when they have the back to school night. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're gonna have a lot of the cast there for that one, and 2 other ones. I'm like, oh wait, of note. Okay, so this one, super excited for. We have Tubi, so the platform Tubi, Winona Earp Vengeance. Winona Earp is a awesome show. If you haven't checked that out,
you love that show, yeah.
So good, and the cast is amazing. So that's Saturday at 1:45, room 6A. So we're gonna have the cast and this is a show you can watch on Netflix. Last I checked, some of it was on Netflix, but it was gone. Fans brought it back, and now it's going to be a movie to kind of wrap everything all up. So, yes, very excited for that. And one other tip for anime fans out there, we have Demon Slayer is going to have a panel. That panel was packed at Anime Expo, super hype. And this one will be Aniplex bringing it's a 5th anniversary of the series, and they're going to have the English voice actors there, which is really awesome. So if you're a fan of Demon Slayer, and if you haven't watched it, you should check it out. They're going to have they're going to have all the main voice actors there, which is awesome. I cover a lot of anime stuff, so in case you're new here,
I love that.
We got Zach Aguilar for Tanjiro, Abby Trott, Nezuko, Alex Lee for Zenitsu, and Bryce Papenbrook for Inosuke. And that will be really a fun time because they're all very exciting people to watch and talk with.
Cool. So, and Brad, just so you guys, I mean, that's kind of that doesn't tell you anything right there. Anyways, no, that's a link to Deadline, one of the entertainment industry publications here.
Yeah, he said they listed some of the top movie panels and stuff. So there's a lot of these that are pointing out kind of the best ones to check out.
Yep. All right, Ben, do you have anything to share from Saturday?
I do. And like I said before, so I had kind of a crazy day. I didn't get to go through the schedule as much as I wanted to. And so I'm kind of doing it on the sly here, except not on the sly. It's just...
It's not so sly. You're telling us.
Right, exactly.
You and me both, dude. It's all good.
Right. But
so we're seeing your first reaction to the panels.
Yes.
Right. There you go. Yeah. So I'm going through this and I'm scrolling, pick something out. I put it, by the way, they have the feature on the website. You can sign up with Sked or whatever it is. It's free. You can sign up with this app. It's SCHED. And you can just bookmark all of the panels and all the events that are listed in the official guide. And then it'll condense it all down into just the things you want without listing everything. So a few different things. I was going to mention the Ghosts panel as well. I love that show. Celebrating 50 years of Dungeons and Dragons. It's been around for 50 years and it's more popular than it's ever been.
I know it is really on the upswing right now. It's crazy.
So they're doing that at 10 a.m. That is going to be in room 6DE at 10 a.m. on Saturday of Comic-Con. They're doing a screening of Little Shop of Horrors for all you horror and musical theater geeks out there.
Nice.
Ironically, a lot of crossover there.
Oh, yeah.
But that's going to be at the Grand 5 at the Marriott Marquis at 10 a.m. on Saturday. One that I'm really stoked out of my mind about. Saturday at 11 a.m. in room 3, they're doing Drawing with Dustin Nguyen. Dustin Nguyen is my favorite, absolute favorite comic book artist. He is amazing. He does this stuff with like pencil and watercolors that's just mind-blowing. And if you don't know who Dustin Nguyen is, it's Dustin, Dustin. Nguyen, that is spelled Nguyen. It's pronounced Nguyen, but it's Nguyen. And Dustin has, and her universe for some reason.
Sorry, can you spell it again?
Nguyen.
Okay, this was what I was trying to do.
There you go, Dustin Nguyen.
And her universe is on Thursday night. So
yes. So look up his art. It's awesome. I love this guy. I'm gonna go see this panel at 11 a.m. on Saturday.
Very cool.
He's a 2016-2019 Eisner Award winner for Best Painter and Digital Artist. He's going to be discussing his drawing methods. He's going to be discussing trends, favorite characters, upcoming projects. Really excited about that. Also at 11 a.m., they're doing a panel for Futurama. That's going to feature Matt Groening, David X. Cohen, Claudia Katz, and Futurama superstars who they're going to have Billy West, John DiMaggio, Lauren Tom, Phil Lamar, David Herman, Maurice LaMarche, all of them. Futurama, of course, I would say of all that franchise that came out of Matt Groening, the second to The Simpsons. Like it's Simpsons, Futurama, and then everything else. And then at noon they're doing a Simpsons panel.
There you go.
In the same room. It's Ballroom 20. So that's 11 a.m. and noon on Saturday. And then one thing again from our perspective as filmmakers, writers, actors, directors, etc. 12:05 p.m. In the Grand 6 at the Marriott Marquis, they're doing Creating Sci-Fi and Fantasy Worlds on an indie budget.
Cool.
And I think that would be really cool because there's a great tradition of indie low budget sci-fi, and with the advancements in technology that we have, it's getting easier and easier to make better and better low budget sci-fi and special effects. So I'd be really interested in that. And I got to about 12:30 p.m. and that's the Abbott Elementary class in session that Carrie already covered. And I scrolled for about 45 minutes through Saturday and I got to 12:30 p.m.
Saturday is packed. The one right after Abbott Elementary, 1:45, ABC's The Rookie with Nathan Fillion. For fans of Nathan Fillion, he is going.
I love The Rookie.
Yeah, he's going to be there, so that's going to be very cool. But they've got a couple other ones that I'm super interested in. 4:15 is First Look, The Man in the White Van. I am forgetting why that looks so Did you read about that one, Carrie? Let me see.
I saw a press release email about it that it was coming.
4:15.
But I just gotta watch
I'm super interested in, so I need to figure out why I'm super interested in that. I should have written down why. Here we go. I'll find it while let me see. The Man in the White Van. Man in the White Van. 4:50. Here we go. The Man in the White Van. Oh, based on actual events, the tension-filled white-knuckle thriller from Legion M and Relativity Media delves into the eerie underbelly of a seemingly idyllic 1975 Florida town and follows the harrowing experience of young Annie Williams, whose carefree existence is turned upside down as she becomes stalked by an ominous white van. As her parents' skepticism grows, Annie finds herself psychologically isolated And on Halloween night, her worst fears materialize into a full-blown nightmare as she must fight for her own survival. It stars Sean Astin, Lord of the Rings and Stranger
boy.
Things, Madison Wolfe, True Detective, Breck Basinger from Stargirl, Sky Jackson, Jesse, and the writer-director Warren Skeels, who did Siesta Key. Is this based on actual events? So it's it just looks super creepy, cool Halloween type movie. As we all know, we're kind of in Halloween season right now, so let's go ahead and celebrate it while we can. All right. And another one that I was talking about, 9 p.m., 50 Years of Trauma. And Ben mentioned earlier they're doing some movies over in the Marriott Marquis, in the movie screening room. Here's 2 movies if you guys get a chance to check out. One's absolutely ridiculous sounding. The second one is ridiculous, but everybody loves it. 10:30, Velocipastor. The Velocipastor. That's a pastor. It's one of those ridiculous ones, I think, from Asylum type stuff where a pastor turns into a velociraptor. It's going to be in Marriott Grand 5. And then midnight, the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I'm sure they're going to have a lot of fun. But at 10 a.m., and Ben, we were talking about this week, Boom Comics has a panel where they are making some major announcements about the future of the company. They were just purchased outright by one of the large publishing companies. Which one?
Penguin Random House.
Yeah, Penguin Random House. So there's going to be changes ahead for them. They're looking, I hope this is good, that they're talking about how it's greater distribution for them. I hope that is true. So that is all that Hall H. We didn't even talk about Hall H on Saturday.
Oh, what?
Hall H. There's this
Ben
thing.
missed his favorite panel, probably.
I know. Luke, did you want to tell him about what it was he missed?
You know what it is, Ben. Come on. You know it's at 7:30 on Saturday, right? We kind of mentioned it earlier, or him.
Sometimes when Star Wars is
10 minutes to scroll down to 7:30.
If Star Wars is in there first, everybody gets up and leaves him by himself.
You almost became roommates with him.
Yeah, it's Kevin Smith.
My roommate, Kevin Smith.
Yeah.
But he's right before the 6 p.m. Marvel Studios panel. So there'll probably be he'll probably get a lot of holdover, I think. Let's hope so. I'm glad, Luke, that you found that 6:30 celebration of life was on Thursday, because I thought it was on Saturday, and I was about to say, poor Kevin Smith, he's getting shafted again.
Yeah, especially if the movie's, basically coming out Thursday. That makes a lot of sense. I'm surprised they're not doing a Wednesday. That would be really cool.
Well, they have movie theaters there in town. I bet you they're going to be doing some Wednesdays preview. I bet you. Hall H, 12:30. Last year, Ben, your lovely wife ran this show. Berserker, BR.
2 years ago.
2 years ago. 2 years ago. BR, ZR, KR, The Immortal Saga Unleashed with Keanu Reeves is back.
Berserker. It's just
Berserker. 1:45 in Hall H. It's the Star Trek panel with all things Star Trek. And 4:45, it's the Penguin panel. Now, the Penguin panel is with Colin Farrell taking on the role of the Penguin as portrayed in Matt Reeves' version of the Batman universe, which is Twilight. What's his name? I'm sorry.
Robert Pattinson.
Robert Pattinson's version of Batman, right? Am I right with that?
It looks like it's a more like realistic approach vibe, but I think that was kind of also the vibe with the Batman too, that's less comic booky, which I don't know. I'm like, sure.
No, actually, I slightly disagree. It's still gritty. It's still kind of quote unquote realistic, but it's very much the storytelling aspect of it is very much in the comic.
Oh yeah, no. I meant more just the visuals, like seeing the Penguin look like he looks like a real normal person versus a caricature. And it kind of goes with how that universe is doing a more visually grounded appearance of things. Yeah.
Well, then we agree.
But then that's fine too, because then it's just another look, because that's the way some shows approach another kind of medium in terms of they'll make it a little more real world, air quotes on that one.
Yeah. Grounded in reality.
Yeah.
What's funny about the Penguin, isn't there an actor out there that actually looks like the Colin Farrell character? They're like, you should have just cast this guy versus like making Colin Farrell look like.
The joke was, imagine going through all that expense of turning Colin Farrell into Richard Kind when you could have just hired Richard Kind. Richard Kind, a great actor, great comedy actor. But I don't know if he would have brought the same performance to the role of the Penguin.
Yeah.
But I'm really excited about this because this is part of this kind of new era of what we're doing with entertainment now. We had a 3-hour Batman movie, which I loved. And now this is a TV show that is spinning off of that takes place in the same universe. And it's a completely separate universe than what James Gunn is doing with the new DC universe movie, thing. It's its own thing, and
it's a completely different universe than Todd Phillips' Batman or Joker universe, right?
Right.
Joker,
yes.
Yeah.
That's correct.
Right. They currently have 3 Batman universes over at Warner Brothers right now.
Yep. Ongoing.
But we are smart enough, and we are okay with that.
Yeah.
And I do have to say, Lily, I agree with you. It's for
it's gonna be rough.
Friday, Saturday. The panels, they seem really good. A lot of them are at 10 a.m., which sadly means I won't see them. But
Jim,
That's
don't
a-
let your ADD
pounding on your
and
door at
train of thought.
7:30 a.m., Jim.
oh my gosh, let's jump into Sunday, guys. We are coming up.
Did you
with the
finish
end.
saying what you're saying though? Because Jim butted.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to
I don't
interrupt.
want you to lose your train of thought because I always do that too, and I'm like, what was I saying?
Well, we all know Jim's a jerk. No, actually, Jim is one of the least jerk people.
I try to be.
But there is also what I was going to tack on to, but I did digress a little bit on my whole Batman spiel. But they're also doing this thing where they're turning part of Warner Brothers, HBO, Discovery, whatever they all are, GMC, ExxonMobil. They are turning part of the Gaslamp District into the seedy underbelly of Gotham City.
Ooh.
And they already had to sign up online to get in. I think they're doing essentially kind of like what Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves did a couple years ago, as they're doing like a tavern experience type of thing, but you had to pledge your loyalty to the Falcone family or to Oswald Cobblepot or to all, there were like 5 different options of who you would side with in the Kingpin Wars of Gotham. So Brianna and I already signed up for that. Pretty excited about that. Of course, I had to go with Oswald Cobblepot. Like he's the Penguin, man. I'm not going to go with any of these other losers. But I don't even know what it's going to be. I just know I've signed up for it. That's all.
That's cool.
So I'm excited for that. And it's being an adult is a different experience. Let me tell you something. I have been so busy working that I have not had the chance to really absorb all of the things that are coming out about Comic-Con over the last few weeks to a month. And I haven't had the opportunity to get excited from absorbing all that. So tonight, if I apologize if I've seemed a little absent during the podcast, I've just been kind of just like absorbing all this information at once and trying to scroll through all the things, and then my brain's excited, but it's also exhausted, and I'm going to go to bed right after the show's over. So my apologies on that, but I'm
old man.
I know. I'm 40.
Ben, no apology, dude. I think it's cool that you are just right now, you're going through the panel list and you're seeing stuff. And I know, and for those of you who don't know, Ben has been exceptionally overtaxed and busy, including editing our podcast. So and he's doing a lot of editing and a lot of stuff. So I'm just glad you're on tonight, if you want to know the truth. But thank you for that, for being
I carved out time for it.
But let's,
before we shift to Sunday, though, I didn't share anything about Saturday.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But
Luke,
I just want to give advice, though. Like what I've been doing here is because it's kind of hard to track. There's just so much on here that it's hard to like, how do I write this down? If you select on your computer just the title of that and post that in your notes on like your computer, it turns into a link that you can click on, and then you can copy and paste all that info and put onto your notes, so you can easily kind of make a list for yourself for each day. That's kind of what I've been doing. You might all have your own techniques, but with just all these things and like, how am I going to remember this or who's in this and all that, it's been pretty easy to just copy and paste doing that. So my little tip.
I'm kind of the old fashioned guy where I will look through everything before we go for the most part, but give me the book, give me a pencil or a pen, and I gotta circle it on the grid. I gotta just quick circle it on the grid. And I will go extinct soon. But hey, we are coming to the end. Let's finish up on Sunday. Sunday.
I did it, Jim.
What do you have?
So just Saturday, I just want to mention just a couple things. So on the creative thing, Jim's ADD. All right. How to Talk for a Living Voiceover 101. That's on
Jim?
Saturday, 1:30 to 3 o'clock, room 3. So if you're interested in voiceover stuff, they'll have some people there from different shows like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And also as a writer, this one's very interesting about AI and entertainment, the threat to performers, writers, and artists. So a lot of people have been talking about that. And that's another one in the Omni. It's in the 4th floor and Grand Ballroom DE. So that's 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock.
Can we just jump onto that, Luke, and say that if you guys were wondering why so many actors and writers were gone last year, a lot of it has to do with this AI threat. So that's that's a good panel to go to. That's a good one.
Cool. So yeah, that's just a couple. And we did mention a lot of these other ones, but one that was going on during that Raptor thing that you mentioned, that's a screening, the Crow showing from 10:20 to 12 o'clock in room 4 during that crazy Raptor fun one you were talking about.
The Crow is showing over in the convention. Nice. And David Boer would never forgive us if we didn't bring out 3 p.m. on that day, Legendary Comics, of which David is writing. He's writing one of the Godzilla comics now. 28 DE, 3 p.m. Legendary Comics, featuring David Boer and a whole lot of other people, but we're just featuring David Boer on the show today. All right.
We gotta go to that one.
Sunday, guys. I have a few for Sunday, but there's 2 of them in particular I want to call out. One, I'm on a panel at the end of the day, 4 p.m. Success in Creativity, making the best of your resources. It used to be called How to Have a Full-Time Creative Career on a Part-Time Basis. They give out free stuff at this panel, including what did they give out the past few years? The pad.
There's an Adobe
They're like
something.
these tablets.
They were giving out the Wacom Adobe tablets, yes, and Adobe software. Yeah, and like this creative suite. And so there's a lot of stuff being given out. If you guys are interested in having a creative career and getting some good advice and networking about a creative career, 4 o'clock, room 24 ABC. And we're going to save our panel for last. But what else do you guys have before I wrap us up here for Sunday?
We have another way to end the con too, and this is the classic that if you've never gone, maybe this might be a time to go, is Buffy Once More with Feeling, an interactive Whedonverse musical. That's Sunday at 3:30 in room 6 BCF. And these are very fun if you've never gone to it. I haven't gone to it at Comic-Con, but I've gone somewhere else. So it's singing along, it's interactive, and
I've done it.
Very whimsical and fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
And then, unless somebody else was looking, there's an X-Men panel on Sunday too.
Well, I think we should call that one out because that will be packed. It's the full voice cast.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
6 BCF. They had something similar.
This one says it's the composer.
Oh, there's 2 of them.
Writer, director. This one doesn't say voice actors on the one. Well, there's 2. Because there's the World of X-Men 97 and X-Men TAS Animation. And that's at 11:45, 6BF. So then we'll have Ron Wasserman. Apologies if I pronounce anybody's name wrong. Composer. Len Ule, writer. Brooks Wachtel, writer. Jake Casarena, director, and discussing their behind-the-scenes experience. And then there'll be a Q&A with Larry Houston, who was a producer and director on X-Men 92.
What time is that?
That one's at 11:45.
Okay.
And then there's another one too.
There's one at 1 p.m. It's the X-Men 97 voice cast, and that's
Okay.
6 BCF. So
Get
I think
all
the
your
X-Men-
X-Men.
Oh, it's getting a lot of love. X-Men getting a lot of love, and it's
Yeah.
cool that it's coming. They're coming on Sunday because the X-Men 97, although it did skew a bit older than the original one, a little bit more mature, it's still it's a family friendly kind of show and it was so popular. And at WonderCon, this was packed, and people were waiting outside to get into this. So this is going to be a packed one.
Yeah. So there's a couple X-Men things. If you're an X-Men fan, you're eating well on Sunday.
Yes. Cheeseman.
I'm gonna make some referrals to get people distracted. Jim, there's one you'd love at 11:30 a.m.
Godzilla -1's Path to an Oscar, 25 ABC. I'm going to be planted there. God, if you guys haven't noticed, and I'm going to bore everybody who's been watching the show, I love Godzilla -1. I love it so much. It's my favorite all-time Godzilla movie.
So good.
Wait
And
here
in
while I go
August,
get this whole
month,
collection.
next month, the black and white version comes out on Netflix. So super excited about that. I'm just all kind of excited. I love Godzilla -1. Thank you, Luke.
Yeah.
What else?
I love doing the referral ones, and then I got one for Ben. Hey Ben, there's a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from the first issue to the last Ronin Sunday, 12:30 to 1:30 in room 23 ABC. Will
Click.
you be there?
This is the 40th anniversary, right? Of the Turtles.
Oh yeah, 1984.
Yep.
40
40th
years.
anniversary of the Teenage Mutant. That's a biggie. That's huge. That's huge.
Yeah.
Also, it's kind of interesting. 1030. What are comic book editors looking for those who are interested in creating comic books? 29 CD. And there's really only one big one I do want to call out.
You
Our
already said your-
own Mr. Ben Cleaver is moderating an awesome panel in room 5AB at 2:15 called Power Rangers, Past, Present, and Future of the Franchise. Hey, Ben, what do you have planned for the panel?
Oh, that's a secret, my friends. No, we're gonna have a lot of fun. This has been so much fun to do our Power Rangers panel the last 2 years at San Diego Comic-Con. I mean, it's a dream come true. And you know, just to be up there talking Power Rangers with literally a bunch of Power Rangers. And you know, as a kid, I was 9 years old when the first show launched on Fox Kids. And so I was prime demographic, and I watched it for a couple of years. I'm really only a fan per se of the original, the original team. But the fact that the show has continued on for so many seasons and is now coming to a point where they're basically like, we just have to start it over because there's just too much now.
Which makes it such a cool year to be talking about, though.
Yeah.
I think it's a pivotal year.
And so I think it's going to be really interesting just to talk, as we always do, to a lot of these actors about their memories of how important it is to be on the show, what their lessons learned and, life lessons and that sort of thing, and just experiences. And then have people get up and ask them questions. I think one thing we're going to do this year is we're going to actually open up a lot more time for questions from the audience, because that has always been something we've kind of run into at the end, and then we've had to rush everybody out, and only a couple people got to ask questions. So I want to cut off a big chunk of time, like the second half of the panel maybe, for audience questions, because it's not only is it possible to get some really interesting questions and really interesting answers and a lot of really neat information through that, but it's also an opportunity for these people who are fans of the show, like I am and like I was when I was a kid. You've got these kids coming in there who are 9, 10, 11 years old, and they are coming up in a Power Rangers t-shirt or a full-on costume and talking to the Power Rangers. And that is an awesome thing to be a part of. And if I can, you know, in as the person who's basically structuring how this 45 to 50 minutes is going to go, if I can facilitate that for more people, I've realized that's what I want to do, because it's fun to just get up there and jabber on with the Rangers and hear them tell stories, but getting that connection to the people that came there to see them, I think I've learned over the last couple of years is the most important part. So that's a big thing for me for what we're going to do.
And can I just say that Ben, for those of you who don't know, Ben's an actor and a comedian, and balancing these are actors, the Power Rangers
Herding cats.
Yes, being able to moderate a group of people who are used to all of them being this, the center of everybody's attention and getting a lot of attention, all talking, is such a feat. And Ben does such a masterful job of coordinating a lot of talented and very talkative people. And let me tell you who we have so far. And I just want everybody to know, we have a core group of people who are going to be there. They're confirmed there. This list might change a little bit, but we know that we have the original Black Ranger, Walter Jones. We know that we will have Tracy Lynn Cruz from Turbo and Power Rangers in Space, Christopher Kamen Lee from Power Rangers in Space. We know that we have Blake Foster from Power Rangers Turbo, Peter Adrian Sodarso from Ninja Steel. We know that we have Selwyn Ward from Turbo and Power Rangers in Space. Currently, we are iffy on Davi Santos, Dino Charge. I talked with him today. He's in Brazil, and he's trying to get back. However,
oh, wow.
I know. However, Davi he helped us. There is you notice on our list, we're woefully short of another female Power Ranger. So Davi has put us in touch. There is another female Power Ranger who wants to be there. So we are working. I don't want to announce her yet in case she just can't make it work out. But regardless, it's going to be a great panel. And I know we're always throwing Ben a curveball. Hey, Ben, we got a brand new Power Ranger. Can you research everything about them in 2 minutes? All right, go. That's happened before.
I can, because I have a tiny computer in the palm of my hand that tells me all the information I need to know about everything.
Remember when Christopher Kamen Lee, the first time he was there, we didn't know he was at the convention, but Patrick David just showed up with him, and we're like, yes, this is awesome. And Ben's like, oh, you've got another one.
oh, good, another one.
And
they're always so energetic and like enthusiastic and such wonderful people, and that's the herding of cats, because they're just so excited to all be there. And so it's so fun to I've seen, there we go, I keep doing the wrong way. I've seen Ben moderate that panel. It's so fun to watch as well. And then being in his element and just seeing all of those actors up there who are also just delightful and great with the crowd interactions as well. They're just so happy to be there.
Mm-hmm. Well, guys, we have come to the end of our show. We've gone an hour and a half, and that's enough. Oh, wait, Ben. Oh, wait. I'm the only one who spoke, aren't I? I am so sorry.
During the entire show? No.
For Sunday.
Oh, for Sunday? Well, one thing I did. No, Carrie talked about Sunday.
I had a couple. I had the X-Men and the.
Oh, that's right. The night's getting long. I'm so sorry. And this is, you go.
One thing I did want to mention, and we have to mention this for every con, that we skipped over it today. Thursday night, Klingon Lifestyles, a Klingon-themed soap opera that will be having a live performance. And really quick, I took my contacts out earlier. That's why
that's why you got so blurry.
That's when yeah, that's why I got so blurry.
Yeah.
Trying to stare at the screen to read it. Yep.
Yeah. Well, and because I was like, I took myself off camera because I was like, I don't want to see people pulling my I don't want people to see me pulling my eyeballs out on a show, on a live stream show. But anyway,
hold on.
Room 5AB Thursday at 8 p.m. is going to be Klingon Lifestyles, and it's one of those things. It's my white whale. I've never seen it, and I've always wanted to go.
I've heard it's amazing.
I've heard it's incredible, especially as I'm a huge Star Trek fan. I love my stars, both Wars and Trek, and I love my children equally. So,
yep.
yeah. Anyway, just wanted to bring that up because we talk about it on every pre-con show because it's at all of like a lot of our local cons around here. So anyway.
And since you say Star Trek, I just got to say, for those of you who didn't see it, we did talk with Tony Kim about Hero Within last week. He has a very cool cafe offsite happening. The Star Trek themed Energizer 2, The Wrath of Khan. We know that one well. And he will be serving Star Trek themed cold coffee drinks, which are very cool. But also he has the company on site doing Star Trek wine. And I'm going to be there because this really intrigues me. I know we're talking about an offsite. All about Star Trek. All right, guys, we do have to wrap up because it's late and nobody wants to keep listening to us jabber.
No.
All right, Carrie, where can folks find you and find out what you're going to be up to, especially during Comic-Con?
There we go. Yes, follow me online across all social media platforms at Carrie D Lane. That's KARIDLANE. I'll be posting links for anything that'll be happening there. I will be at Comic-Con the whole time. Super excited. I'll be there with Fanversation as well as Comics Beat with Electric Now. So probably easiest to follow my platform and then go check it out anyways. And just, yeah, I have random content from anime to horror to nerdy stuff to pets to fashion and all over the place. So it's a fun time.
It is always such a pleasure to have you on the show.
I'm so excited to be able to make it for this. So I was like, yeah.
Cheese Man.
You can find me on social media at Cheese on Couch on both Instagram and X, and also theconguy.com, and hopefully more coming on IMDb in the next few years with screenwriting as well. So look up Luke Cheeseman. Is Luke like the Skywalker with the Cheeseman?
We have a movie coming out supposedly in October on a streaming service.
The Engagement Plan coming on Great American Family.
It's a rom-com. We won't talk about it now. Anyways, before I pitch it over to Ben to take us out, thank you everybody for tuning in tonight. And if you are down in San Diego Comic-Con, please find us. I will be following us on Instagram. Instagram is probably where you'll be able to find out what we're up to, what we're doing. We'll be posting also on X a little bit. But yeah, it's going to be fun. Lily, we're going to be posting the pictures and videos you sent us on social. Thank you for sending those in. And Ben, take us out, my friend.
All righty. Well, as Jim already said, thank you everybody for watching the podcast. Thank you, Carrie, for coming on again. Carrie, I just want to commend you. You have done so much for this show. And I don't know if you watched our 200th episode two-parter, but we sang your praises.
You did.
I was like, yes, I totally watched those. Thank you.
We sang your praises pretty heartily on there as well. So
and we meant it.
And we meant it. And so it's always good to see you on the show. Folks, San Diego Comic-Con. First of all, I do want to say I'm not drunk. I'm just tired.
This is what sleeping 2 hours in 3 days gets you.
That's true.
What's in the red cup? Is it caffeine?
It's Dr. Pepper, actually.
All right.
It's different.
And so I guess it's a little caffeine, but I'm just gonna go to bed. But yeah, next week we're gonna be doing parties and offsites. It's another live show, right, Jim? Another live happy hour.
We have one last live show. No one says X.
No one says X.
It's gonna be Twitter forever. I refuse to call it X. It's like mass Twitter.
But yeah, one more live show. We are gonna come back at you guys next week with all the offsites, parties that we can wrangle into one show. It's gonna be fun.
It's like Prince. It's the social media network formerly known as Twitter.
Pretty much.
But yeah, and then after that, next week, a week from tomorrow, San Diego Comic-Con starts, and none of us will be getting any sleep.
No.
But Jim, Luke, I just want to tell you guys, hydrate, electrolytes, and anyone else out there, of course, but particularly for Jim and Luke because they like Long Island iced teas. And Ben,
you earned it.
You earned it. Thank you, Andy. Thank you very much.
He's actually sleeping right now.
I am sleep podcasting right now.
He's got skills.
Yep. The skills to pay the bills because this show pays me so much money.
Ding, 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 ding.
We talked about that on the 200th as well. But yeah, thank you again, everybody. Looking forward to Comic-Con. Join us next week for the live show on off-sites and parties. My name is Ben Cleaver. You can find me on all social media at BenKliewer. And the reason I'm drinking out of this red cup, which, there it is, coming on the screen, kind of. The reason I'm drinking out of this red cup is because whenever Ben Cleaver shows up, it's always a party. Good night, everybody.
Good night. Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching The Con Guy, the official program of theconguy.com. Find us on the Weeby Geeks Collective or anywhere you listen to podcasts.